All right, let's talk about a problem that pretty much everyone has, but nobody really likes to admit. And that's messy, chaotic data. But what if I told you that you could make a huge, measurable improvement in just 1 hour? Seriously. Let's dive into this simple, super powerful plan. We hear it all the time, don't we? The incredible potential of AI automation. But here's the real question, the one that stops so many projects dead in their tracks. Is your data actually ready for any of it? You know, if you've ever pulled a report, looked at it, and just thought, ugh, this can't be right, then you already know the answer is probably a big no. And this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. AI isn't some magic wand. It's a powerful engine and it runs on the fuel you give it. So if you feed that engine rubbish data, you don't just get rubbish results, you get rubbish results faster and at a massive scale. You're basically just automating your own mistakes, and that is a recipe for disaster. So how do we begin to fix this mess? Well, we start by measuring it, but instead of getting lost in 1,000 different details, we're going to focus on one single powerful number that tells you exactly how healthy your data is. It's time to meet your data integrity score. The data integrity score, or DIS for short, is exactly what it sounds like. It's one number that grades the health of your data. You can almost think of it like a credit score, but for your information. And honestly, it's probably the most important score on your whole journey to getting ready for AI, because literally everything else is built on top of it. And what's great about this is that it gives us a really clear target. You know, if your score is below 60%, that's a red flag. That's a high risk situation. But if you're in that 70% to 80% range, yeah, that's strong, that's manageable. And 90% or higher, that's when your data is really ready for the next level. It's clean, it's reliable, and it's ready for some serious automation. Okay, so how do we get this magic number? I promise it's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. It all boils down to measuring your data against 5 simple, totally common sense rules. And here they are, the core 5. First, completeness. Are key fields, like an email address, actually filled in? Then, accuracy. Is the data actually correct? Timeliness. Has this info been updated any time recently? Consistency. Are you using standard formats, or is it a total free-for-all in there? And finally, uniqueness. How many duplicates are just sitting around, cluttering up your system? And check out the math behind this. It's dead simple. For each of those core 5 rules, you just calculate a percentage score. So for completeness, for example, you just count the number of blank cells in a field that should be filled out, and you divide it by the total number of records. Your overall data integrity score is just the average of these 5 percentages. And that's it. Simple. All right, now for the main event. This is what you came for. We know what a DIS is and we know how to measure it. So now let's walk through the actual practical step-by-step plan that's going to take you from data chaos to a real measurable improvement, all in a single hour. We're going to spend 5 minutes defining the rules, 20 minutes on a quick audit, 15 on stopping future messes, 10 on a quick cleanup, and the final 5 minutes just assigning an owner. It's focused, it's fast, and believe me, it is incredibly effective. Now, this first step is absolutely critical. You have to resist the urge to try and fix everything at once. Don't try to boil the ocean here. Just pick one small, high-impact slice of data. Something like your sales leads from this month. This way, you guarantee you're going to get a quick, motivating win right out of the gate. Next up, for steps 2 and 3, we get our hands dirty, and you do not need any fancy software here. Just open up your data slice in a spreadsheet like Google Sheets or Excel. On a post-it note, just jot down what good looks like for your core 5 rules. Then just use the simple filters to find the blanks, the duplicates, the formatting errors. Count them up, do that simple math, and bam, you've got your baseline DIS. Okay, listen up, because this is probably the most important step in the entire hour. Don't just clean up the current mess. You have to stop it from happening again. So instead of manually fixing a few records one by one, you install permanent guardrails. Change that free text field to a drop-down pick list. Make the email field mandatory in your contact form. This is how you create change that actually lasts. And to finish off our hour, we do 3 quick things. First, just do a quick cleaning pass on the easiest 20 to 50 records you can find. It's an instant boost. Second, recalculate your DIS and take a second to celebrate that improvement. And finally, assign a clear owner for this slice of data, because without an owner, data quality will always decay over time. So what does this all look like in the real world? Well, it turns out that a single hour of focused effort can produce a really tangible, really impressive result. And here it is, the payoff. Just look at that jump. In this example, just by adding a few required fields and a pick list, completeness shot up from 82 to 95%. Consistency went from 70 all the way to 92. And the overall data integrity score rocketed up from a respectable 78 to an amazing 92%. That's a huge win, moving from just manageable to automation ready. And you want to know the best part? Maintaining this awesome new score isn't some other huge project. All it takes is 15 minutes a week. The data owner just runs a quick data doctor check-in to fix any small issues that pop up. It turns good data from a one-time project into a simple, sustainable habit. Now, to make sure your first hour is a massive success, here are a few common traps you really want to avoid. Remember, don't just clean without building those guardrails. Don't try to fix everything at once. Make sure there's an owner and a weekly check-in. And for this 1 hour exercise, stick to one single source of data. So here it is, your takeaway checklist. This is the entire 60-minute plan summarized as 5 power moves you could literally do this afternoon. Pick your slice, get your score, turn on 2 guardrails, clean up a few records, and get that weekly meeting on the calendar. That's it. And let's just end by connecting this all back to the big picture. This isn't just about having clean data for the sake of it. When you raise your data integrity score, you raise the trust people have in your data. And when people trust the data, they can make faster, more confident decisions. And you know what? Faster, better decisions are what ultimately drive growth. So there you have it. The 60-minute data fix. It's simple, it's actionable, and it is incredibly powerful. The only thing left to ask is, what's the one slice of data you are going to tackle in the next hour? Now, if you want to go deeper and really see where your business stands, check out our AI readiness programs over at Phicient.com. And if you would like us to deliver this workshop to you and your team, drop us an email at training@Phicient.com.